And welcome back to Macomb High School as we are here for the Lady Bombers basketball tournament. I'm Dwayne Hulett. John Burton is alongside. We've got some crazy stuff going to try to come to you here as we go through the starting lineups. We're even going to attempt a replay tonight, aren't we, John?
We sure are, and I think attempt is the only appropriate word that we can use, because whether it works or not, well, that's to be seen.
Well, we know how it's supposed to work. We just can't quite get it. I haven't had a chance to get it to work just exactly right thus far, so we'll see if it works here as I put someone with a little more intelligence on the job over there beside me. But we got Holden Wirt up on the big camera today, and we got Graydon Wirt to my right with the Zoom camera. So we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Our first night of basketball, our second basketball game. The Havana Ducks beat Illini West in the opener just a few moments ago, as we are ready to go here with the second game. Havana is the leader in the clubhouse, so to speak, at 1-0. As we get ready to go here for the second contest of the night. Good student section over there. As we get ready to go. We're doing good. How are you? Student section. As we get ready to go for the tip-off of the second contest of the day, 32, Claire Holke getting ready to jump things off, and I believe number 23 is Kennedy Allensworth to do the same for the Macomb Bombers. The Macomb Bombers come down with it, and Alleman is all over defensively, and the tie-up on the far side. Adeline Voss gets the tie-up, and it's going to be the Pioneers on offense first. Basket up and in for number 32, Claire Halke. And I remember her from last year, John. She was a good ball player last year, and she looks like she's only gotten better.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice post move down there. Caught it, spin, went straight up, went up strong. Was able to get the 2-point good.
Team's first foul for the Bombers. Free throws good for Halke. And it's 3-0 Pioneers. Foul was on number 5, Catherine Stortsom. The junior picks up the foul. It's her first, team's first. Driving now, blocked by Halke. No, that was number 20, Ava Brinkman with the block. Down the far side, 3 on the way is long, no good. Rebound by Kylie Robinson, and she'll push it back the other way for the Bombers. Definite size advantage here for the Pioneers, and the shot by Sophie Wilson off no good, and Pioneers push it back the other way. Halke with it. She comes up top to number 12, Audrey Erickson. Erickson is a senior. Voss just a sophomore. It's 3-0. Steal by the Bombers. Pushing it back the other way is Robinson. And they call a double dribble on Robinson. The steal was by number 10, Drew Creasy. Missed her on the volleyball court this year, but happy to see her on the basketball court. And they're going to call an offensive foul push on number 22, Megan Halke. That'll be her first, team's first. Again, if you're just joining us for the first time, it is a different scenario, right, John, for fouls. It's 4 fouls are free essentially in each quarter. On the 5th one, you shoot 2 free throws the rest of the way.
Yeah, switching it up, we're getting rid of the one-on-one situations, and fouls no longer, well, they do reset at halftime, but they also reset in between quarters. So, yeah, definitely some rule changes from those that oversee all, right?
Right. NFHS made those, and the IHSA and most other member schools followed along. So, or most all member organizations, I should say, followed along. There's Robinson. Robinson on the dribble, loses it, gathers it up. Goes left side to Catherine Stortsom. Back to Robinson. Stortsom, top of the key 3 is off, no good. Rebound, outletted It's going to be Erickson pushing it up the other way. Robinson is back, spinning around. Shot is off. Ball's on the floor, bounced around like a hot potato. And I believe they're going to call the foul on number 10, Adeline Voss.
10, Adeline Voss picks up the Alleman foul. That's her first, team second.
Live chat's open. Hop in there and let us know who you're cheering for or where you're watching from. We'd love to see that in the live chat. I want to thank Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling for bringing Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. And a steal. Back the other way. Voss misses the layup. A rebound by the Bombers. And back the other way it comes from Robinson. Robinson on the dribble. Puts the shot up. Off, no good. Rebound to Erickson.
Pretty good straight-up defense down there by the Pioneers. Able to keep Robinson off the board here early on. Bombers still have a goose egg.
And a steal by Stortzum, I believe. She'll push it back the other way. Comes down to Creasy. And a jump ball is going to be called. It'll stay with the Bombers. 3-0 still the score here. 5:23 remaining in the first quarter. Graydon's camera shot there. There's Holden's shot, and on the inbound, another jump ball, and it'll be possession to the Pioneers. Alleman Pioneers. Inbounding is Audrey Erickson. She's a senior, as I said. Voss, the sophomore, will bring it up the floor. She's picked up by Sophie Wilson, number 3.
Go putting on a little backcourt pressure there. Trying to make the Pioneers pick up the pace a little bit. Nice job getting the ball up the court there by Voss.
Suddenly, we can see a whole lot better now. Foul called on number 5, Catherine Stortzum, for the Bombers.
Number 5, Catherine Stortzum, that's her second.
Her second, team second.
Into the Bomber lane, number 2, Kendall Danner.
Megan Hulke hits the triple. Number 22. Allensworth has her shot blocked. Hulke pushes it up near side. Erickson now on the dribble. Tries to go thread the needle. Can't do it. It's stolen away. Robinson gets it. Pull up jumper. Top of the key. Off, no good. Ball on the floor. Erickson will track it down. Chris Dewar takes evasive actions over there to not get ran over.
Pretty nice footwork over there from Mr. Dewar.
It was. Always on head on a swivel when you're looking through the camera lens, that's for sure. And another Bomber foul going to be called here. It's going to be on number 10, Drew Creasy. Her first, team's third. Checking in for the Pioneers, number 24 is Carson Wendt. Didn't see the other number. I believe it's number 4, Lily Limke. 3 on the way. Long. Rebound by number 2, Kendall Danner, for the Bombers.
Bombers still scoreless here in the season. Trying to get some points on the board here. Pioneers playing good defense. Pull-up jump shot's going to fall short. We'll see which way this one goes.
That's going to stay with the Bombers. 4 minutes in, 4 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. And the Bombers have yet to score. I want to say hi to Dante Drake watching again. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Steal by Voss and nearly stolen away by the Bombers, but the Pioneers roll it back in. It's going to be Claire Hulke with it now on the dribble. She's harassed out there by Allensworth. Now Voss with it, picked up by Wilson. Voss drives all the way to the lane, can't get the shot to fall. Rebound off, no good, and another rebound off, no good, but that time foul's going to be called. I think it might be on Drew Creasy down there. It is. It'll be her second, team's fourth.
Bomber personal foul charge number 10, Drew Creasy, that's her second, team fourth. 24, Carson Wendt will go to the line.
Carson Wendt shooting 2 for the Pioneers. Rock Island Alleman Pioneers. leads 6-0. A chance to make it 7 here from the charity stripe. 2 free throws. First one's good. Checking in for the Bombers, Jordan Hines, number 4. She's a sophomore. In number 14, Abby Glacken for the Pioneers. She's a senior. Second free throw coming. Good.
Timeout. Macomb.
Bombers take a timeout, their first timeout of the game. They trail 8-0 here with 3:34 to go in the first quarter. We'll take our first break as well, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I told them about the staff of MDH. You know, they're all good. You get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
Welcome back to Macomb High School, the Lady Bombers basketball tournament to start the season off. It's the Bombers trailing by 8 here to the Pioneers of Rock Island Alleman. I didn't even check my spelling. I hope I spelled everything right in the scoreboard. Looks like I did. It's one of those kinds of nights so far for me, isn't it, John?
Yeah, and I have to say, you know, things weren't quite going the way we wanted them to. We were rushing it around a little bit, and then we go to get some rosters. Buck a piece for the rosters. Can't get anything else, so I think that really just kind of pushed it over the edge, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it ended up working out okay, though. John had the chance to – he was going to keep stats, and then we realized trying to do this replay thing wasn't going to work out probably. So we'll work better on stats Wednesday night, Friday, Saturday, and on down the road. But we're just trying to get some photography stuff, some video stuff figured out for you here. We'll work on things as they come. It's kind of like what we've done with everything Western-wise so far. There's a nice little pick and roll. Allensworth, though, can't hold on to the basketball. It's going to be stolen away. Voss outlets down the post. Couldn't gather it in. That was number 24, I believe. Went. Man, a lot of contact there. Called the travel, and that was all because of a forearm shiver.
Yeah, these refs here tonight have really let the girls play. We saw that a lot in the first game. A lot of body checks, a lot of forearm checks. Didn't call it there. Instead, they called the travel, but definitely have been consistent so far.
Well, they've been consistent. They haven't called much. So, I mean, we'll take that, right, as long as it's consistent both ways, and they can go with it. Sophie Wilson with it for the Bombers. Breaks, dribble contained, shot up and in, and Sophie Wilson has the first 2 points of the season for the Bombers.
Very nice pull-up jump shot there by Wilson, able to get the Bombers on board.
And now another foul. Hulke going to go to the line. Fouls on number 23, Kennedy Allensworth. Team's 5th. 2 free throws coming for Claire Hulke, the senior, for Rock Island Alleman. First one is good. Donna Stortsom, thanks for joining us again. We appreciate it. Voss is going to check out. I missed the number coming in. I think it's number 22 came in for Megan Hulke. Megan is a sophomore. Claire, the senior, hits them both. And Claire's going to come out. Checking in is Ava Brinkman. Quick reaction to this contest so far as the ball inbounded to number 24, Alea Abernathy. Number 24, Carson Wint, picks up the foul for the Pioneers. Her first, team's second. What I was getting ready to say, make that third. What I was getting ready to say there, John. Oh, there's Abernathy to the hoop. Can't finish. Turnaround and a foul as Jordan Hines got the rebound. Hines will be at the free throw line. Fouls on number 24 again, Carson Went. Her second, team's fourth. 5 fouls for the Bombers. Jordan Hines at the free throw line. She hits the first. She is just a sophomore. Voss checks back in. Claire Halkey checks back in. Very brief break for those two as Hines hit the free throw. But the initial assessment, what I was getting ready to say, John, is out of the gate quickly. It looks like Pioneers might be the favorite in this tournament thus far.
Yeah, they're playing with a lot of pace, playing really physical, and just the sheer size of a lot of these girls. I mean, they got Macomb beating that department by a pretty big margin. And we see, I mean, they're number 20, Ava Brinkman. She's about the tallest player on the court. She has about half a head on these Macomb defenders.
Alea Abernathy picks up the foul, her first, team sixth. And at the free throw line to shoot 2 is going to be number 20, Ava Brinkman. A few things we know we got to work on. Get Holden to maybe tilt that camera up a little bit more there.
Just a tad, yeah.
But we are, he's clear up at the top of the gym. We're clear down at the bottom of the gym. It's pretty hard for us to communicate with him down here.
You can still see the ball go through the bottom of the hoop, right?
Yep. Holden is a youngster. Jump ball. Same with Graydon. Graydon is a 6th grader. Holden is just a 4th grader. So we got some youngsters helping us out tonight.
Sure do.
Doing a pretty fine job when you throw that in the mix, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Got some college kids helping us with Western stuff and junior high. And, well, there's Robinson. What a crossover, and she left it short. And then it's going to go off of Claire Halkey out of bounds. And she had a little help going out of bounds by Jordan Hines. The thing is you can't maybe the Bombers might be shorter, but you know Hines and friends can jump because we watched them play volleyball.
Yeah, absolutely. This Bombers team, as you mentioned, maybe giving up a little bit in the height department, but a lot of athletes on this team. Nice pass down low, and Hines is able to finish. That was a heck of a find there.
And Rock Island Alleman wants a timeout just that quickly. It's 11-5. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Markham 1, L. Markham 1, watching from St. Louis to Missouri. We appreciate you joining us. I tell you what, we've been pretty blessed, I feel like, with these games tonight. They've not been horrible basketball games for being the first game of the year.
Yeah, no, the first game was actually a really close contest, and this one kind of following in suit. We saw in that first contest, Havana was able to pull out to a decent lead over the Chargers. Chargers climbed all the way back. It was looking rather close down the stretch, but Ducks were able to pull away in the end. But Dwayne, I think I got something for us here. We're going to try to do this replay thing and see this bounce pass down to Jordan Hines here. So we'll take a quick look at that here on the replay.
Look at that.
Abernathy, Hines sets the screen. Nice bounce pass down low. Hines converts to 2.
And there it is, back to live action. Now look at that, John Burton.
Look at that.
Got a replay and everything. Look at that. Erickson's going to drive it down now, and she got a little contact. Got her own rebound, though. Claire Halkey, right side. Voss for 3. Good. Adeline Voss, the sophomore, hits the triple, and it's 14-5. Robinson throws up the shot. One thing for sure, you're not going to outwork Jordan Hines. Sophie Wilson for 3. It's in and out, no good. Back the other way, Erickson's going to skip across to Voss. Up top, Claire Halkey. She's going to drive on Abernathy to the hoop. Man, she got hammered. Counted in a foul. 16-5. Bombers have their 6th team foul. Fouls on number 24, Aaliyah Abernathy, her second. Kennedy Allensworth comes back into the ball game. Claire Halkey to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. They ran off 5 straight. That one's off, no good. Abernathy with the rebound. Robinson will bring it up for the Bombers. Holden is suddenly struggling up there.
A little bit. Needs to take the camera out just a tad. Nice pass down low to Hines once again. And she'll get fouled and take a trip to the free throw line.
32, Claire Holkey picks up the Alleman foul. That's her first. Team fifth. It'll be double bonus for Macomb. Jordan Hines.
I'll go see if I can get Holden to zoom out rather than zooming in. You got this for a second?
I think I can man it for just a few moments. Hines is no good on the first free throw. Again, Macomb trails by 11. Second free throw on the way from Hines. No good once again. Rebound swallowed up down low by Claire Holkey. And now working it back the other direction. That is Holkey. Pass tipped by Hines. It'll go out of bounds. It's going to be Bombers basketball. Went off one of the Pioneers there. Didn't quite see what happened. I was too busy looking at the screen, but it is Bombers ball. 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Inbound will come over forward Kylie Robinson. Again, Bombers find themselves in an 11-point hole here. Trying to make things a little bit closer heading into the second quarter. That pass goes through the hands there. Pioneers have it. Working it back the other way. Long three on the way. Hard off the back iron. Fight for the rebound on the floor. Try to bounce it back to half court, but the time will expire. And that'll be the end of the first quarter, 16-5. We got Mark Ham in the chat saying, watching from St. Louis, Missouri. Appreciate you taking the time out of your night to join us here. You see the Macomb Bombers taking their huddle there. Again, 16-5, the score at the end of quarter number one. We'll take a quick break here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, and be back with you for the start of quarter number two.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Getting ready for the second quarter of action. Before we do that, let's take a quick look at a replay. This is a and one play by Claire Holkey. This was earlier on in the first quarter. Catches the ball at the top of the key, makes a move on Abernathy. Abernathy comes from behind, takes the foul, and Holkey's able to draw the finish. Again, that was earlier on in quarter number one. Holkey went on to miss the free throw, I do believe. And we are 16-5.
A lot of contact there. It's going to go with the Bombers with 7:45 to go in the first half.
Pass up for Hines. That's going to be tipped out of bounds. I believe that's Audrey Erickson there tipping that one out of bounds. Bombers trying to get into an inbound set here. Pass comes up for Robinson, and they'll get it across half court.
So the Bombers trail by 11 to Rock Island Alleman, and Voss is going to pick up a foul. I believe it's going to be her second.
Sure is. She's got two. First team foul of the quarter. Gonna have to get used to saying of the quarter and not of the half.
That's right. It'll take me a little bit, folks. I apologize. There's a shot off, no good by Robinson. Voss with a rebound. And thrown away out of bounds. Possession to the Bombers. So the Bombers have had opportunities here, John, just not able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, not so far yet, but they've been doing a nice job. They've been getting some pretty good looks. Shots just aren't quite falling. Again, first game of the year, trying to get things a little bit in order. But yeah, I mean, not bad shots the Bombers have taken. You'd expect them to make
Call a double dribble on Robinson there.
Bombers fans definitely don't agree with that one here at MHS.
Yeah, student section, a good one as usual over there on the far side. On the ground, another jump ball. So a couple subs coming in. Drew Creasy coming back in. Kate Stortzum, number 5, coming back in as well. The Bombers are using a lot of that 5 seconds every time to get the ball in, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's just thanks to this pressure of the Pioneers defense. They're really making it tough on the Bombers getting the ball in, and you can see they're pressuring into the backcourt. See a little bit of a trap there and a turnover by Stortzum.
Yep, stealing it away was Abby Glacken. Erickson has it on the dribble. Picked up by Sophie Wilson. Right side Glacken. Now out top, Claire Halkey. Halkey down to Erickson. Erickson drives, pull-up jumper, rattles around and falls through. First 2 points of the quarter go to Erickson and the Pioneers. They lead 18-15. Yukon Curtis watching from Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you for watching. Oh, what a cut by Creasy. What a look and a finish. Drew Creasy gets the bucket to fall. Just like that, it's 18-7. Oh, now a backdoor cut by Erickson from Halkey. Anything you can do, I can do better. And they made it look just as easy that time. Allensworth. Creasy with it. Pick and roll from Allensworth. And I believe Erickson's going to come around and get the foul call. It is going to be a foul on number 12, Audrey Erickson, the senior. Team second, her first. Free throw coming here for Kennedy Allensworth. Another senior. It's off the front of the rim, no good.
Megan Holke and Adeline Voss return to the Alleman lineup.
Megan Halkey back in, number 22. Free throw good for Allensworth. So we'll set the floor here. It's Stortzum, Allensworth, Creasy, Robinson, and Wilson for the Bombers. Megan Halkey, Glacken, Claire Halkey, number 24, Went, and Voss on the floor for Pioneers. Voss is going to dump it out to Halkey, and it's going to be Glacken for 3. Off, no good. Rebound by Went. It's off, no good. And then a couple of Pioneers. Oh, and that's going to be bad. They stopped. They should have blown the whistle by now, but they have not. 2 points by Stortzum on the far side. Timeout on the floor. Now, I thought, John, that you can't take a fast breakaway, but once they set into that half-court set, the whistle should have been blown.
Yeah, that's usually what happens there when you see a player like that go down. that was a bad time to laugh. Sorry, Dwayne. We were looking all over for this court earlier, and it turns out it was just underneath the table. But, yeah, you think there once you get set into the half-court offense, you should blow the whistle and not let the Bombers definitely get a shot up there. I mean, obviously you can't slow down the fast break, but a little interesting there, I would think.
Yeah, got in a tangle with one of her own players and fell down and hit the back of her head pretty hard and as she fell to the floor, so hopefully she'll be okay. We'll zoom in on the bench here, try to. she is sitting up now, so hopefully she's going to be okay down there. But I knew as soon as she fell it was going to be a hard hit, and she wasn't probably going to want to get up very quickly anyway. She hit a ton.
Yeah, and a lot of that in the upper back area towards the back of the head, it appears. So she's now up on her feet. That's good to see. Definitely shaken up, though, on the play.
Yeah, I would imagine she'll go into concussion protocol. She's hit the back of her head pretty hard as the MDH athletic trainer walking with her and going to come to the sideline over here and talk with her a little bit more.
Rock Island Alleman will maintain possession after the officials' timeout.
Tough break for Rock Island Alleman. Wynn has been playing very well. It's going to be Rock Island Alleman basketball. .452 remaining in the first half. It's 20-10. Claire Holke trying to get it across half court. She finally does. Gives it off to Voss. Voss on the dribble, picked up by Robinson as the Bombers have picked up the intensity a little bit. It's 20-10. Pioneers with the lead. Here comes Megan Holke. Jump shot off, no good. A lot of contact. Voss gets the rebound, and the putback is good.
And you're right, that was a lot of contact down there. Robinson was fighting down low, trying to secure that rebound. One of the Pioneers players came in, kind of ran into the back of her. Robinson lost it, and that's the result in a Pioneer bucket.
Robinson pull. I thought she noticed Kennedy Allensworth looking to dump it out to Stortsom. Off, no good. Or actually, that was Drew Creasy over there, excuse me. Claire Holke going to take it down now. Excuse me, Megan Holke. Ooh, that was pretty close to a carry right there. Claire Holke drives, puts a shot up, off, no good. Rebounded and thrown out to Stortsom. She'll push it back the other way. And knocking it out of bounds was number 14, Abby Glacken. Number 34, Emily Polich. And number 12, Audrey Erickson checking in for the Pioneers. Number 2, Kendall Danner in for the Bombers. Allensworth with it, top of the key. And that's going to be Danner with the foul as she came and put a little contact to the back of the defender. And it's her first for Kendall Danner. First for the Bombers of the second quarter. Megan Holke with it. Polich. 3 on the way. That was Voss. She gets her own long rebound. Erickson now, she's got some ball handling skills, but she lost it there just as I jinxed her. Voss going to try another one from the right wing. That one's off, no good. Megan Holke with the rebound and the putback. No, that's not. It's number 20, Ava Brinkman with the putback. That's 24-10. Robinson on the dribble. And she gets hammered pretty hard. I believe it's going to be on Erickson possibly. It is going to be on Erickson. That'll be her second. Team's third of the quarter. Free throw coming for Robinson. First one's off, no good. Claire Holke and number 4, Lily Limpke, checking in for the Pioneers. Robinson's second free throw off, no good as well. Megan Holke came down with it. She takes it back the other way. Limpke gives it to Claire Hawkey. Now Erickson's going to drive, dumps it down to Polich. Polich puts up the shot. She's fouled as there is a drastic size and height advantage. Fouls on Drew Creasy. That's her third foul, team second. And at the free throw line shooting a couple, going to be number 34, Emily Polich. She's a sophomore. The Bombers are drastically undersized this season. Aaliyah Abernathy checks back in. Creasy checks out. Second one off, no good. Going to go off the Bombers, out of bounds, off Kendall Danner, I do believe. 2:12 to go in the first half. It's 24-10. The Pioneers have the 14-point advantage over Macomb High. Right side, Erickson on the dribble, backs it back out. Comes up top. That's Lemke. Gives it off to Megan Hawkey, back to Erickson. Right side, down low, Claire Hawkey. Outside now, Lemke. Back up top, Megan Hawkey, three, top of the key, is off, no good. Long rebound, tracked down off the floor by Kylie Robinson. She'll push it back the other way for the Bombers. Erickson's going to guard her all the way down the floor, though. We're under 2 minutes to go, approaching 1.5 minutes in the first half. Starts a pump fake, pull up, left elbow, jumper, short, no good. Erickson with the rebound.
Nice move there by Stortson. Was able to get a defender in the air with that pump fake, not able to convert the two on the other end. Bombers still trailed by 14, minute 20.
Three on the way, no good. That was Megan Hawkey again. Now a steal by Claire Hawkey, and a putback is good. Worst place to be, one of the worst places to be is trapped just across the half-court stripe or on a baseline. And she got trapped on the baseline down there, and Hawkey got the steal. 26-10. Kylie Robinson with it. Goes to Kennedy Allensworth. Shots off, no good. Stortson 1-on-3, gets the rebound. Abernathy back to Stortson with 30 seconds remaining. Allensworth back to Abernathy. Long two. Claire Hawkey with the rebound, gives it off to Megan Hawkey with 23 seconds. Might be the last shot of the half. And stepping on the baseline out of bounds. It's 11.9 seconds remaining. Checking in is going to be number 10, Adeline Voss, and number 3, Sophie Wilson for the Bombers. No Sports Corner threes in this one for the Bombers.
No, not quite
yet.
Yeah, not quite yet. Trying to get that ball worked inside. They have a couple good looks. We just saw Abernathy put up two in that last possession. Couldn't get either one to fall.
Sophie Wilson, pull up. Two is short as well. And that's the end of the first half of play. The Bombers trail the Pioneers 26-10 here on the opening night for both teams. We'll take a break. We'll have a nice interview from MDH to play as well. We'll be back with some thoughts after that here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
As you know, MDH is our title sponsor here on TSSR Game Time Live, and we're here with Lindsay Douglas, the Director of Physician and Provider Recruitment. I about left out provider out of that. So physician and provider recruitment here at MDH. It's a huge mouthful for me, so explain to us what that is.
Sure. So I am in charge of bringing in candidates for both physician and provider positions here at MDH. So provider meaning anything like nurse practitioner, advanced practice nurse practitioner, physician assistant, things like that. So I source those candidates, bring them in, and try to find the best providers and physicians to provide care at our facility.
So you found a home at MDH. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How long have you been here? Stuff like that.
So I am from Macomb originally. I graduated from Macomb High in 2009, graduated from WIU in 2014, studied communication there, and started my career in politics and worked for a couple different state representatives and state senators. Then found myself in the educational realm for a little while at the Regional Office of Education, and eventually found myself here at MDH. I started here in February of this past year. I started out as patient advocate, and this role opened up, and I'm now in the role of Director of Physician and Provider Recruitment.
Obviously, McDonough District Hospital, very important to Macomb.
Sure.
And it's the communities not only of Macomb, but Bushnell, Colchester, Blandonsville, Industry. You're from here. So what was it that drew you back here and got you to stay here at MDH?
So MDH is like home to me. I am a fourth generation MDH employee. So my great grandma Nancy Weaver was one of the first nurses that they hired when the hospital opened in 1958. My grandma started working here maybe 10 to 15 years after that. She started as a CNA on acute care, and then she worked in peds, and eventually she worked as the unit secretary for home health and hospice, and she retired from that position after being at MDH for a total of 50 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. My mom is here as an administrative secretary. She's Brian's administrative assistant. And so I'm now here as a fourth generation employee of the hospital. So it was kind of a thing where I always thought I might end up at MDH just because of that family legacy of working in healthcare.
So before we came on camera, I heard a story. You guys were at a speaker recently, and you got to be there with your mom.
Yeah.
Does that make it really special to be a part of MDH, to still have your mom working here?
It's so cool. My mom is down the hall from me. So if I need something in the middle of the day, I can run down the hall and grab her. But it's also just cool to think about like the legacy that leaves in the community, especially being fourth generation and female. I think that's just a really special thing for my family and for this community here.
So as we look at those kind of, you have a personal connection here. How do you use those personal connections when you're out trying to recruit a physician or a provider?
Sure. So I use the story a lot of my office, actually. So I'm in room 318, which was a room for patients at one time, and now they've converted it into an office space. And one of my favorite stories to tell physicians is that my great grandma was sick in the hospital and was in that room, and that's where my grandma was recruited to join MDH. So my grandma had no plans of working in healthcare, but she was taking care of her mom as a sick patient, and the nurse at the time came to her and was like, "You are such a great caretaker. Why are you not a nurse? Why are you not doing this as your full-time occupation?" And so my grandma decided that healthcare would be her lifetime and like 50 years. And so she started working for MDH and was recruited right out of my office. So I just find that to be a really special connection when I'm looking to bring people to this community. Like the recruitment started in this office 50 years ago. And here I am starting a whole new legacy of recruiting people. And I just am so passionate about this community. And I just love living here. I moved back here from Quincy, chose to raise our family here just because we really love Macomb and we really love being in McDonough County.
So obviously the personal touch, you got the great personal story. You love Macomb. What does MDH offer to the providers and the physicians? What's the sales point for you on the professional level?
So because we're a small rural healthcare organization, your voice is heard here much louder than when you're in a large organization. So when you're in one of those larger hospital systems, you might be one of 15 to 20 providers in a specialty. At MDH, you might be one of two, you might be one of one. And so your voice in that medical staff office is going to be the loudest one in the room about your specialty. And that's a really unique situation for a physician to be, you know, the main voice for speaking for pediatrics or for speaking for orthopedics or whatever that specialty is. You're it. You're the guy. You're the one providing the care for the whole community. And you don't get that if you go to a large healthcare organization.
So those bonuses are probably obstacles in some cases as well.
Sure.
So how do you overcome those obstacles?
It really depends on the provider. You know, if someone is really wanting to be in a place where they're just want to in the background, they don't want to be that main voice, you know, I kind of have to tell them, you know, this is unique. You know, it's a unique community where you're going to go out into Walmart to get your groceries and run into one of your patients, and you're not going to find that everywhere. And that might be scary for you, thinking about, well, I don't want to mess somebody's care up and then run into them and have to explain it to all of Walmart. But it's just, you can also sell that as you're not going to go to Chicago and work somewhere where you're going to run into your patients every day.
Well, Lindsay, I appreciate you coming and talking to us today. Hopefully some people can understand more about MDH and how it's such a family-oriented business and so important to McDonough County and the surrounding area. Keep doing a good job, and maybe your little girl that wanted that 100 chicken nuggets can be the next generation to join MDH.
Exactly.
Well, we'll be back after halftime here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
And welcome back to Macomb High School. 26-10, the halftime score. Rock Island Alleman over Macomb High. I want to say hi to Jeannie Kane, watching from Taylor Ridge, Illinois tonight. That's Jackson Kane's mom, if you want to know who Jackson Kane is. We've been so sporadic tonight ourselves, I don't even know if Jackson Kane, the head coach of the Macomb High Bombers, his mom's watching. I want to say hi to her. And we, right now, are going to try something that we haven't tried before.
Well, we tried it a little bit there in the first half.
But we haven't tried a string of them.
We have not tried a string of them, but we have some replays of the first half action here at MHS. We'll get transitioned over to those just about like that. First play teed up. Nice backdoor cut there by the Bombers. Robinson with a nice dish. Layup up and good. Bombers scored 2 on that one. See another nice play here. Hines, big screen on Abernathy. We saw a replay of this early on. Left-hand finish. Good for Jordan Hines. You see here, Holke catches at the top of the key, drives inside. Abernathy catches her from behind. She went on to miss the free throw after the and one opportunity. And here we'll see Adeline Voss catch and shoot 3 in the corner. Knocks it down for the Pioneers. And it's been all Pioneers here in the first half of play. They lead by 16, just 40 seconds to go during this halftime break.
This game being brought to you by Ron Elby Auto Sales with locations in Macomb and Augusta. With 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsalescars.com to check out their inventory. And Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling. Since 1960, Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling has provided their greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, and installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local Carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852 and find out how Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. And Sports Corner at 124, Macomb's original local sports bar. It's Sports Corner at 124 with a focus on local sports. Catch WOU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124, all while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. We'll talk more moving forward about the specials they have every week. The ugly steak on Thursday nights, I believe, and that's the old Red Ox trick. We'll talk more about that. They have $1 wings on Wednesday nights. Megan Halkey goes to Claire Halkey down the baseline. Brinkman. Ooh, another one goes down hard for, that's Voss. Back the other way, Sophie Wilson. Voss gets up though. Back the other way they come with Erickson. Is going to go out to Voss, and she got knocked down hard and then tried to knock down a triple but couldn't get the job done. On the floor, it's thrown off the leg of Halkey to Erickson. Erickson turnaround jumper is good.
Nice play there with nice dish up off the floor. Little two-handed shovel pass over for Erickson. That's a nice heads-up play.
Stortzum gives it to Allensworth. Stortzum nearly lost it, gathered it back up. It's 28-10, third quarter, 6:54 to go. Neither team has a foul here in the quarter yet. Both teams have 4 timeouts. Shot on the way off, no good. Down to Claire Halkey. Voss got it on the throw back in. It's off, no good. And Stortzum's going to pick it up off the floor. She races back the other way. Erickson swipes it away from behind. She's going to go to Claire Halkey. The left-handed layup is up and in. Joy Baker watching, says let's go Bomber basketball. Cheering on the team. Timeout for the Bombers. Their second timeout. They have 3 remaining. It's a full timeout. Also helping bring you tonight's contest here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, is Pawn Plus. Pawn Plus is proud to have served Macomb and the surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items of value. Pawn Plus is the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They also provide on-site jewelry repairs and are open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. They have a great selection of jewelry, electronics, tools, and video games located at 324 West Jackson Street in Macomb between Erico and Taco Bell. 30 to 10 is the score. Bombers trail the Pioneers by 20. And the opening game for both teams of the 2023-2024 season. Then a steal, Voss, it looked like it was going right to her instead of to Creasy, but good defense gets it taken away by the Bombers. Now Robinson with it from Allensworth. Pull up 3. Good for Kylie Robinson.
And that's big for the Bombers here. Get the lid off early in the second half. Their first Sports Corner 3 of the game. And they're up to 13 now.
Erickson with it. 5:50 remaining in the third quarter. 3 on the way. Near side is Voss, and she hits it. She responds. 33-13.
Yep, Voss answers right back. We saw her knock down a 3 in the first half. She gets on the board here in half number 2. Robinson attacks off the pick and roll, working with Holke on her. Gets it over for Stortzum, and that's going to be an over and back there. Stortzum not able to quite reel that one in. Bombers still down by 20.
It's going to be Megan Halkey inbound. Claire Halkey with it. Voss again. That's an air ball, and she got taken out. And Stortzum got into her, and I think Stortzum got up just kind of half laughing because she wiped her out. No foul called. Erickson to inbound. Gets it up top. Voss now to Claire Halkey. Back to Voss. Left side. Brinkman. Claire Halkey for 3. It's off, no good. Rebound to Voss. She goes right back up with it. It's off, no good. Brinkman steals it away from Stortzum. Back up top. Megan Halkey over to Erickson for 3. It's off, no good. Claire Halkey the rebound to put back. It's off, no good. Brinkman. She clears out.
Yeah, that's got to be an offensive foul. You threw the elbow in there, almost right into the back of the head of Creasy.
Well, here's the deal about that, though. You're absolutely right. That did happen. I didn't plug that in, did I?
No, I didn't. I just got to notice that the computer's starting to run low on battery. Continue your thought. I'll get this here, if you remember.
Drew Creasy was just pushing on her as hard as she could push.
Mm-hmm.
But because Drew's so much smaller, there's Robinson for three again. It's off, no good. Because Creasy's so much smaller, it was making no effect on Brinkman. Then Brinkman got mad, pushed back, and because she's so much bigger, it was obvious and got the foul call. We're still 20-point difference here, 33-13. That's kind of the Shaq effect, right? Everybody's so much smaller than you. It's the big guy gets fouls called a lot on him, and he can get hammered and never gets a foul called on him.
Yep.
That's the way you were in basketball, right?
Yeah, I usually played pretty big down there in the post. You know, I was banging down there with the big guys, of course.
Erickson skips pass across to Voss. Up top it comes Claire Hawkey. Nobody picks her up. Pull-up jumper, 15 feet, good. Things getting away from the Bombers a little bit here in this one.
Robinson now, nice crossover, left to right crossover, finds Hines, top of the key.
About 6 inches from being a three-pointer, and she missed it anyway, I guess. So Voss pushes it back. Claire Hawkey says, I can shoot a triple. And she does. 38-13. 3:07 to go. Another good defensive play. It's easy to play good defense when you're a head taller than the player you're guarding. But
yeah, absolutely. A lot of these girls on this Pioneers team, and not only do they have height, but a lot of length too. They got long wingspans. They've been affecting a lot of passing lanes, coming away with a lot of steals, giving the Bombers issues.
And a give and go to Erickson from Claire Hulkey. Audrey Erickson gets another bucket. Timeout charge to the Bombers. It's a 30-second timeout. It'll be their third timeout. And they trail 40-13 here. And John, things just kind of getting away from the Bombers is the athletic ability and the size of Rock Island Alleman is starting to showcase itself.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, just the height of these girls. I mean, this Bomber squad, they have a lot smaller squad than what they did last year, and it's really paying dividends for this Pioneers team. They've been able to abuse that inside, and especially on the defensive end. I mean, they're able to swallow up those passing lanes. They close down really, really tough, nice closeouts, and they've been trapping really well at the top.
Happy to see Carson Went back in the ball game. She's back playing. I did not really expect to see her back, but she is back. Now back the other way, blocked by Erickson. As Creasy went to the basket. Now Creasy knocked that one away. Robinson goes down to get it. It's going to be a jump ball called. Possession to the Bombers. Getting a little feisty out there.
Yeah, intensity is starting to pick up a little bit. Both teams have been playing pretty physical all night, but things might be bubbling over a little bit here with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yep, 2:25 to be exact. Robinson with it. She gives it off to Hines. Hines looks down low, comes up to Abernathy, top of the key, and she might have got away with a travel. I don't think she ever dribbled, did she?
She did not. Thought maybe the pivot foot stayed in place, but she'll put up a three now.
Off, no good. Erickson with the rebound. Outlets it to Lemke. Abernathy gives her a shove, gives her another shove, and the second time she gets the foul called. It's going to be her third, I do believe. Team's first.
24, Elia Abernathy picks up the Bomber personal foul. That's her third, team first.
That's the first of the third quarter. Of course, it's 5 and more you shoot in each quarter now, and it's 2 free throws per. Inbound to Lemke from Voss. Drew Creasy is all up in Lemke's grill. Now Robinson guarding Voss. Left side it goes to Glacken. Glacken comes near side to Lemke. Voss out near the 10-foot line of the volleyball court. Back to Lemke. Lemke had some trouble, did get away with it. Say hi to, oh, there's a jump ball.
Jump ball time to Rock Island.
Stays with Rock Island. I want to say hi to Kelly Sears, watching from Sears Worldwide Motorsports Shop in Macomb, Illinois. One of the best 410 shops in McDonough County right there. Glacken tries to get it down to Went. Kicked out of bounds. It'll stay with Alleman, as Alleman has 4 non-starters and Voss on the floor right now. The Bombers have Kendall Danner, Jordan Hines, Drew Creasy, Kylie Robinson, and Abernathy on the floor. A double dribble violation as Went got knocked down. Abernathy went over to pick her up, and she's like, I want no part of that. Went still grimacing from the fall she took, and I think she might have blamed that on the Bombers, but she rewatches the tape. It's probably going to be more of a concern with her own teammate knocking her down. There's the steal by number 34, Emily Polich, taken away by Hines. Now Abernathy has it. She gives it off to Robinson. Under a minute to go now here in the third quarter. Bombers trailed 20-10 at the half. If my memory serves me correctly, right?
Yes, they did. Abernathy pump fakes the 3 outside. Robinson will shoot the corner 3, a little bit long.
33 seconds remaining. Voss gets the rebound. She pushes it back the other way. Danner cuts her off. That was Glacken, excuse me. Now Went puts up the shot. She's fouled by Hines, I believe. Nope, Drew Creasy. The 4th foul for Drew Creasy. Just the second of the quarter for the Bombers. Stortzum checks out. Stortzum checks in. Creasy checks out. Be inbounded by Voss here. Into Went. Went's blocked by Hines. And then Went's going to pick up the foul.
24, Carson Went is charged with the Rock Island foul. That is her
Third foul on Went. Second on the Pioneers of the quarter. Robinson with it across half court now. Stortzum up to Hines. Hines over to Robinson for 3, left wing. It's good. A sports corner 3 for Kylie Robinson at the buzzer, pretty near it. All 6 points of the quarter come off 3s for Kylie Robinson, but it was a 20-point quarter for the Pioneers of Rock Island Alleman. They lead by 24, 40-16 here at the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll take a break, and we'll be back to Macomb High School on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
My experience with McDonough District Hospital was amazing. I have a lot of allergies, complicated by nasal problems. And the procedure I had is Vive Air. Dr. Sparks was incredible.
The Vive Air procedure is a radiofrequency ablation procedure. She no longer has to do any medications to breathe, so she gets much more restful night's sleep. And a short little office procedure, and have somebody that feels like it's totally changed their life means the world.
It's a permanent improvement on the quality of your life.
And welcome back to Macomb High School. A couple replays. Physical third quarter here at Macomb High.
Yeah, absolutely. We see here some Bombers on the ground. Pioneers able to come away with it. Nice shovel pass down low to Erickson. She gets the 2-pointer to go. And here we'll see another nice play by Erickson. Picks up the big screen up top, backdoor cut, and she puts it up and in. But the Bombers' defense starting to kind of play a little bit here. We see the chase down block by Kylie Robinson there, picks up the block. And Jordan Hines, we just saw an inbounds pass, was able to swat that one away as well.
So back to action here in the fourth quarter. That's Danner with it. Sophie Wilson has it swiped away momentarily by Brinkman.
What a size difference that is, Brinkman, Gardner, and Wilson out there.
Yeah, the fact that Brinkman can even keep up with her is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Wilson
it
is
is
so much smaller. Got to be a lot quicker. That's what I was going to say earlier, too, is the thing about this Alleman team, there is Megan Halkey putting up shots. She's going to be fouled by Hines. What I was going to say earlier is we talk about the height and size difference. The problem is for the Bombers is that the Alleman Pioneers can dribble, shoot, and pass the rock as well. They're not just big ball players.
Yeah, I mean, they do everything right. The fundamentals are certainly there, and they're all athletic too. like you said, they moved their feet well on the defensive end and able to get out in the break. We just saw there, Holke was able to run the break, and she's going to go to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Megan Holke shooting 2, the sophomore. First one is off, no good. Hit about every part of the rim it could hit, but it didn't go in. Foul was on Jordan Hines. It's her first. She's a sophomore as well, so those two will probably see each other for quite some time here, the next couple of years anyway, in this tournament. Second one off, no good. Hines with the rebound. Fouled from behind. We'll see who they called it on. I believe it might be on Brinkman. Nope, it's on number 32. That's Claire Halke. Her second, team's first. Oh, works better if you hit the right spots. I don't know the scoreboard yet, John.
Really?
I'm trying to get back to it.
Is that the case, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to it, and it's just not working so good, I'm telling you. Both of them off, no good.
Pioneers working the ball around now. Had her on the slip there, had Brinkman, but
she gets called for the travel.
Yeah, had her initially coming off that little pick and roll action, wasn't able to get it to her. Pretty good defense there by the Bombers, able to force the pickup in the late pass.
I finally got the scoreboard fouls and timeouts right again.
There you go.
Took a while, but I got there. 40-16 is the score. 6:40 remaining. Were you going to be nice to me there?
No, I'll just keep that one in the back pocket.
I figured as much. Timeout, Macomb. They'll have one timeout remaining. This game being brought to you this evening by Western Illinois University. At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in because purple stands out. At WIU, there is limitless potential with campuses in Macomb, Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out. And at King Family Chiropractic with locations in Bushnell and Macomb, supports Bushnell-Prairie City Athletics, Macomb Athletics, West Prairie Athletics, all of McDonough County, as a matter of fact. They have office hours in Macomb, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Bushnell, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Set an appointment, call 309-837-MY-DC. That's Doctor of Chiropractic for anybody keeping score. The numbers are 6932. So a couple Sports Corner threes in quarter number 3, and that was all the scoring the Bombers could come up with. They trail 40-16, 6:29 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and this Pioneers team has done a really nice job chasing the Bombers off the three-point line. And again, with such a size advantage, it's hard for the Bombers to get anything going inside. So when you can't shoot from the outside and can't work on the inside, it makes for a tough game.
It'll be Bomber basketball after the timeout. And the thing is I guess there's a few players that haven't played yet for Alleman, but that may be a tournament thing. That may be a tournament thing. You can only play so many tournaments, and if they're sophomores, they may want them to not waste a tournament here. We'll see. They're going to have a line change coming in. Hines is going to lose the ball out of bounds, possession to the Bombers, and as I said, the line change coming in for the Pioneers. Erickson, Went, Limke, Glacken, and Voss all back in. Both Halkies. Brinkman, number 33, Jillian Hoffman, who was in for a few moments, is out. Athletic Director Steve Horrell sitting right behind us. Mr. Horrell, you want to get on here for a couple minutes with us? Give me that other headset, would you?
I can do that. You better make sure you get the mic plugged in, too.
Yep, I will do that. As we go back the other way, Stortson with it with under 6 minutes to go now. Erickson with a steal. Little travel there. They're going to call the foul on Hines and count the bucket for Wentz. And another foul on the Bombers. We'll get you plugged in here, Coach, if I can figure out which one you are. There you go. put you in number 4. Hines picks up her second foul. Went to complete the three-point play, and she cannot. It's off, no good. Danner gives it to Wilson. Well, I think we can hear you now. We'll give it a test here. Mr. Horrell, Steve Horrell, Coach Horrell. We talk about that every time that we see you, but you were running around about as much as we were today.
Yeah. We started the day off with the IHSA Town Hall meeting here at the school. Went over the proposals that we'll send back to the legislative committee of the IHSA, and then the principals and athletic directors will vote on that sometime in December.
So what was your take on the town hall meeting? Not necessarily what your opinion is, unless you want to tell us what your opinions are, but what was the town hall meeting like?
A lot of it, what came, the people that were there were West Central Illinois athletic directors, a couple principals there as well.
Hines with the foul.
There are a few of the proposals that really don't affect, downstate Illinois, things talking about boys lacrosse or volleyball, things
right.
of that nature. But then a couple of things came in with.
So the big thing I think is the football deal, right? The multiplications are not necessarily football, but
there were two proposals for. Well, one specific to football of going back, revisiting the districts. That was one of the proposals, and then another proposal had to do with non-boundary schools, of eliminating the 1.65 multiplier, and then you would take within a 30-mile radius, which is where non-boundary schools can draw from, and they would take the average of every school larger than them that were a boundary school and use that as their enrollment for the next 2 years or whatnot.
So what's your take on the odds of that actually passing?
You know,
I mean, you don't have to tell me what your opinion is, whether you like it or not, but what do you think the odds of something like that passing are?
It's hard to tell simply because of, downstate and then suburban, where's your 30 miles? Is 30 miles from your school address? When you get into Chicago, Mount Carmel, Brother Rice, Mother McCauley, things of that nature, you end up with, where's your 30 miles?
Right.
Is it the city limits of Chicago, or because there's open enrollment in Chicago?
Right.
If you're Quincy Notre Dame, do you use 30 miles within Illinois, or do you use 30 miles around Quincy and encompass Missouri and
Highland, Hannibal, and stuff like that, right?
But neither, Hannibal would have a larger enrollment. I'm not sure Highland. I don't know.
Right.
But the only school in Illinois would be Quincy High.
Right. So that's the thing is there's so. It seems simple, doesn't it? All this stuff seems simple, and then you start looking at it, and you're like, where do you draw the line? I mean, it's kind of like a Pandora's box, right? You open it, and just more things keep popping up.
Exactly. And if this is the case, then we got to do this, and then we got to do that, and if that were to happen, then it wouldn't. You could only move up in if it were a 3-class system, you could only move up 1 class the first year, and then you would go up 2. If it's a 4-class system, you would move up 2 the first year, and then up to possibly 4 classes. So I'm not sure it's real thought out yet. I think, especially after this weekend, it was a hot topic after the volleyball, and again after the soccer. The boys' soccer in the fall. So there are certain sports where it really, really, really comes into play.
Yeah, volleyball, a little bit in football too, but a lot of volleyball. It's a big factor when it gets to state for volleyball.
Exactly. Yeah. You have Mother McCauley year after year. They beat Bennett Academy for the championship this year. Mater Dei won in 2A. Elmhurst IC. I'm not sure if they won it or they were in the championship. And I think out of the 16 teams that were there, I think 11 of them. I
thought it was 11 of them.
11 of them were non-boundary schools. Yeah.
1A was a public school though.
Galena
won. So yeah. That's was good to see. I guess if you're looking at it from go from there. Dante Drake says he's been watching a lot of our stuff lately. He says like Sacred Heart Griffin. He's from Charleston, Springfield area, so that tells you he's used to that kind of stuff. But basketball seems like it snuck up on me. Were you ready for it?
No. We had a little downtime last week with just one junior high basketball game, but then we started Saturday morning with 3 7th grade regional girls games, and then I went down to watch Mount Carmel and Quincy, and then came back. We had this semifinals over at the middle school tonight, so Galesburg won and we won, so they'll play in the championship for the 7th grade regional title on Wednesday. So I'll be over there, and Mr. Fulkerson and Mr. Sullivan will take care of our girls tournament here in this gym. And then junior high boys game on Thursday, 2 more games on Friday, 4 games on Saturday. Next week we have the boys going up to the Bushnell tournament, wrestling in this gym with Camp Point Central, Quincy High School, Orion, and Illini West, and ourselves. So
not much going on.
Not much going on. No. But I truly believe I got the best job in the district. They pay me to go to ball games.
You can't beat that. And you got good help during the school hours to help you out to get you there, don't you?
Mary Beth, she was gone the other day, and I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do because she usually keeps me in line and say, have you did this, have you did that, and I can't say enough good about Mary Beth Carl. She does such a great job.
Sophie Wilson's shooting a couple free throws here. She hits the first one. I want to give a shout out to Emily Pollich. She got a free throw a few moments ago as well. It's 44-17. This Alleman team's not too bad, are they?
They're pretty athletic. They're pretty long, and we're a little undermanned tonight. We're only dressing 8 girls. Madeline McClure is not with us tonight. She's been out of school the last couple of days. Ella Hare just got the boot off that she broke her foot during volleyball season. And then Haley Emmerich, she's going back to the doctors. She's one of our seniors. We just have the 2 seniors with Kennedy Allensworth and Haley Emmerich. So just 8 girls tonight. Got some young kids that are coming up, and Coach Kane is doing a great job with them, and they're pretty, excited about doing some things.
44-18, the score here at Macomb High. This tournament is a thing that you guys do every year. You have some different teams coming here. It's kind of neat seeing Illini Bluffs come in, Rock Island, Alleman, as Stortzum gets a steal there, and man, it's getting really physical down the stretch here. But it's cool because you guys get a few teams that you're not probably normally going to see the rest of the year.
Exactly. We have 2 conference schools with Havana and Illini West in here, but Rock Island and Alleman we normally wouldn't see. Illini Bluffs probably not, and so we had Pleasant Plains in there, but they chose to go a different tournament this year. Well, and I like the 5 teams. It gives gives you a night off during the week, or so you can get some practice in. And not being a basketball coach, I don't understand it as much, or appreciate it as much as But Mr. Sullivan, who used to be the basketball coach at West Prairie and Colchester, and he said, if you play back to back to back to back, play, like we're going to play in Bushnell with the boys next week and the girls here this week. If you're good, it's great, but if you're struggling,
right.
You don't have time to practice and work on things and get some things fixed there. So I understand that, and so if we stay at 5 teams, then everybody gets 1 session off.
Yeah, the Bombers, and the nice thing is, some people say, well, it's not fair. Bombers get a 1 session off. Their session off's on Saturday, so they don't have to play 2 games in a day. But it saves the school. Every school gets 1 less day of travel by doing it that way, don't they?
The reason we did that is Illini West being the closest team. They take the morning session off. We take the afternoon session. I figure if you're going to make the trip over here, you might as well play 2 games there and not waste play.
Right.
Make 4 trips instead of 3 trips.
Yep, and that's I like that when I heard that. It was saves some schools some trips, and that's thinking ahead, and that's one of the things that I think people forget as we approach the 1 minute to go here in the 4th quarter is that as the athletic directors, you guys have to look at that kind of stuff too. Travel is as big a part of this whole deal as anything, isn't it?
Yeah, travel is a big thing with our budget, and you know, we would love to get our kids exposed to many different, you know, portions of the state, even out of state, but as long as we have the budget there to do it, we'd love to do that. And that's the beauty of the playoffs. I wish we would go back, you know, I'm going to get off the topic here, but I wish we would go back, all 8 classes would go 1 through 32. Simply because not everybody gets in the playoff. You earn your way in your playoff. So that's part of the beauty is you get to go somewhere and play somebody else. You get to get on a charter bus where some of these smaller schools, maybe they've never been on a charter bus.
Yep.
You know, so get on that bus. You know, people will follow. You're in the playoffs. Your fans are going to follow you and travel.
3 on the way, no good there. And that's one of the things that, you know, the 8-man only has a 16-team bracket, but they rank it 1 through 16, and that's how they do it. And I go to a lot of their meetings because we do a lot of their broadcasting, their state championship game, and that's one of their big things is that they want to stay that way.
Yeah.
They want to be able to do that. So you see some different people, and you get to have a little fun and go on those trips, and their trips tend to be a little longer in some cases, but they are definitely – on that theory, and I think one of the problems with IHSA is that they won't go back to that. I don't want to say it. I mean, one of the things for 8-man and being IHSA, that's one of the things that they don't like about that is they have to go back to the regional thing.
Right, and with, you know, but the same thing. It's 16 teams, and we seed 1 through 16 anyway.
Right.
So it wouldn't be any different. It wouldn't be any different in reality. And I think if athletic directors and coaches would want 1 through 32, I think it may be the principals and school boards there.
Right.
So,
right.
Hey, I'm going to have to get these officials in there.
No
thanks
problem.
for talking to us, and thanks for all your coverage with us.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for joining us for a little bit.
Okay.
Yep. Steve Horrell talking to us for a few minutes, and it's final 44-18. The Bombers drop the season opener to the Rock Island Alleman Pioneers. And I know we spent a lot of time talking there in the fourth quarter, but the game was kind of out of hand. Tried to hit the high spots. Not a whole lot of scoring there down the stretch, John. And little different for us tonight. I appreciate you being here. We're using a video switcher, and we're using another computer to do some replays, and maybe they aren't the best replays, but now we know how it works, right? So we can build on it from here.
Exactly, and that's something that we're going to be looking to start doing here on TSSR Game Time Live, hopefully for the state championship game, the 8-man state championship football game this Friday night. We'll have a lot more of the finer details kind of ironed out and be able to put on a great broadcast. It seems like every year we do that, things get a little bit better and a little bit nicer, and sooner or later, we're going to be just like ESPN out there.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we're trying to do anyway. Get better, get bigger, get better. That's what we're trying to do. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. I didn't talk to Coach Kane, so we'll get him maybe after Wednesday night's contest. But so for John Burton, I'm Dwayne Hulett. Thanks for joining us from Macomb High School. The final score, 44-18. The Rock Island Alleman Pioneers get the win over the Macomb High Bombers. We'll be back Wednesday night for 2 more games here from the Lady Bomber basketball tournament. See you then.